Hey folks, it's Coach Pete with Mr. Matt Nicosia. He is president of RidePair. This is a very fantastic concept. We are going to try to educate you a little bit on what it really is. Now, we've all heard about rideshare, and we've all hailed a taxi in our life, and maybe we've used some of these ride services like Uber and Lyft. But Matt, why is rideshare not really the definition here? It's more about mobility. Can you explain what mobility means?
Absolutely, and thanks, Coach Pete, for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So there's a big difference between, we call it taxi service, like a ride share, which means you're going to go to a new place, you've landed at an airport, you're going to go to a dinner, you really don't want to drive, so instead of hailing a taxi, you do what's called a ride share, which then you hail and a car comes and picks you up and takes you back and forth to your location.
Okay.
Now, true mobility, which is what RidePair is focusing on, is not just taxi services. We don't want to have more cars on the road. We're environmentally friendly. We're trying to make a big difference. But most people have a mobility issue, whether it be they're commuting, the cost of commuting, and or the time of commuting. Now, whether you are in states that have carpool lanes or have incentives for certain types of sharing, that's where the name share comes in, but we're truly going after the commuters and helping those commuters in their mobility. So there's a big difference. We had a conversation with a gentleman who's very strong venture capitalist in San Francisco, and it took him a bit, but once he understood the difference, which what we were trying to accomplish with RidePair is not just in taxi service as a ride share or ride share as a taxi service, but truly enabling mobility by allowing people to have a lower cost of transportation, which is part of mobility, a higher speed of transportation, because you could take carpool lanes and so forth.
Fewer cars on the road, too.
Fewer cars on the road, lower congestion. With RidePair, we encourage people to team up together. You can kind of say what carpooling used to be is what RidePair or pairing is now, and we give incentives to do so. Whether we're paying them to actually per mile or per whatever it might be, we're paying them to be able to transport, and we're speeding up that transportation. We're truly helping mobility versus just ride sharing, and that's a big difference because in the future, and even now, the need to lower congestion, the need to really bring down the cost of transportation does affect mobility. So we believe that RidePair is truly affecting mobility, not just a rideshare service.
Well, a lot of cities that never had a traffic problem now have traffic problems too. So we really need to address this issue.
Absolutely. It's going to be a constant issue in the future. Think of when there's just not just the cars from ride sharing, there's so much issues that happen with more cars on the road. And now everyone's having to go back to work. They've realized that post-COVID, efficiency is not all there. A portion is, but efficiency is not all there. Now you're going to see a lot more people going back on the road, and mobility is going to be an issue.
How can people find out more about this?
Well, people are allowed to go to getpaidtopair.com. At getpaidtopair.com, you can download the app and you can participate in giving rides and riding with other individuals and receiving incentives for participating in the new mobility, the age what we call of incentivized mobility. So once again, www.getpaidtopair.com.
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, Coach Pete.